after about a week of working on this, I understand why people say that this build was not viable. This has not been easy. The amount of labor that goes into being a mad scientist is insane. But at this point, the vault, I think, is basically self-sufficient, and I want to show you guys around. So without further ado, here's Vault 88. I'm trying really hard to stay as true to the mad scientist character as I can. So most of the things that I've been trying to design here feed into that very well. You'll see I'm in the gradual process of replacing all of my human staff with machinery. This whole thing has just been quite a journey. And to everybody in every Reddit comment thread that I've read about all of this trying to go forward, that says Vault 88 is a waste of time and the manufacturing equipment is useless, I just don't think you understand how it works. Welcome home. So this I've been affectionately referring to as my horseshoe. Those are shotgun turrets in the middle. Nothing has made it even close to coming inside. With some careful planning and wiring, obviously ignoring the snap features, it's not difficult at all. Aside from, I have 2 sets of power armor, and I sealed that off. This is where main power is coming from all of that. Just snaked it off of the main generator, and I got my Jangles the Moon Monkey stuffy, of course. The main facility is much more impressive. This is just to keep my settlers from getting in the way. You may notice that the security of the front door is much more than is ever required. And that's for a very good reason. The Overseer's office, Clem pedaling away. And once we got this thing up and running, it became kind of a game changer. I just keep this running right here on the outside because this is where I keep all of my crops. Corn and razor grain really are the only things that I do grow. I had a bunch more stuff here, so I'm just kind of reduced it down just in case I ever need it again, but I have hundreds and hundreds of all of them. These are really fun in the vault. If you only have one point of entrance, like I currently do, the only way for anybody to try to attack is by going through the front door, which now has the horseshoe. So if I turn on this fake distress beacon, it starts an endless wave, non-stop. They just keep coming forever, and they don't stand a chance against even just the horseshoe. And I'm going to work on that quite a bit, improve the way that that's kind of designed. And like I said, I'm in the process of slowly replacing all of my human settlers, with scavenger bots and farm bots. It is really funny, but my settlers are really strokey. They'll just stroke out randomly. It's happened since the long walk. There's nothing wrong with them, nothing I can tell. They just all seem to have trauma now. So they'll just randomly, and sometimes it's really funny. You'll just find them on the floor, though. So we're gonna get some robots. It's fine. That process is gonna take a little while to replace everybody. I think you can have 32 people, 32 settlers. So I'm maxing out the capacity of the vault. with robots, and then I'll start sending somebody like to Sanctuary Hills as I replace them out. Probably send them back to Starlight, actually. That means the barracks is very quickly going to be useless. So I'm thinking about maybe a bar, cafeteria. Not really sure.
Yeah.
And then on the top floor, this one took me quite a while to figure out. Like I won't lie. And most of the helpful threads that you get, even now, are not helpful. They're not helpful in the slightest. People just don't seem to understand how this works or why you should use it. But welcome to manufacturing. This thing is pretty neat. Throw in some basic supplies, and what you end up with is 10mm ammo, sugar bombs, and Vault-Tec lunchboxes. The Vault-Tec lunchboxes are special. They're really cheap to make, they sell halfway decent, and you can open them, which is really cool. Just in case I ever forget the recipe, there we go. And these are not intuitive in the slightest. Setting these up, especially the component sorters, took me a minute to figure out. You need a terminal in order to program everything, make sure it works. And if I give it some fertilizer, lead, plastic, steel, razor grain, and corn.
Remarkable use of technology.
It's just gonna make stuff.
I wonder what type of illicit experimentation Vault-Tec was performing here. I wonder how long my systems will endure these rugged conditions.
I'm gonna go into first person for a second so you can see. The corn is heading over there to the food processor. Fertilizer went right here into ammunition. And then the steel will go all the way down here into the builder to make lunch boxes. Normal Vault-Tec lunch boxes that you find in the world can be opened, and they have this little, plays a little tune, and a prize comes out. Vault-Tec lunchboxes that you make, however, are a little bit different. You can't just open them, but if you hit them, they do open. Now, once they've been opened by being hit, the only option that you have is in the build menu to repair them. And at that point, you just end up with, I think, just a regular lunchbox that you can maybe open again, maybe not. But there's another trick that you can use with conveyor storage. There goes the razor grain.
We can keep traveling as much as you want. I don't require sleep or food in order to survive.
It's kind of a pain, and you'll see once they start coming down the conveyor belt.
I must apologize for the odd noises I'm currently emitting, a consequence of being mechanical in nature. Yeah.
But you can hit each one of them, open them up, and them and their oh no. That's probably the worst part about this. I thought that would have stayed. In order to route things in component sorters, you have to have at least one of the items in it.
Files say some of these vaults held over 1,000 people. That sounds uncomfortable.
So now, let's see, we'll do 12.
It's a pleasure to serve with you, ma'am.
And the food sorter is doing its thing. No.
Jackson and
Sugar
Stewart are
bombs!
well built for travel. These modifications will be adequate for quite some time.
Isn't that neat? So, a lot of these items can be just regularly crafted. Sugar bombs is hard to make, ammunition is hard to make, lunchboxes are really hard to make. That's most of why I chose these ones in particular, and here we go. Now that that's routing properly, we have some lunchboxes that will be coming out. Turn my flashlight on. For this particular build, I would never be able to craft those things in the vault. It's just, you can't do it. Not only am I not going to invest 6 points into charisma. Hey, look at that. In order to get 2 points into local leader, to then be able to build crafting crafting tables and stores to be able to do all of this by hand. Like, that's insane. It would take 8 levels that I would have to drop into.
Never fear, man. I will ensure your safety to the best of my ability.
This is just stuff that you can craft, and it will build all this for me.
Everything seems to be proceeding according to plan, ma'am.
Oh, where's that ammo going? Oh no, it's dropping in there. Look at that. And then it just glitches right into there. Okay, so I need to push this one more. But still worked. Typical Bethesda.
I've never lost anyone before. This failure is new to me.
That should be all of
There
it.
must be some useful supplies left over in this vault. We just need to keep searching.
So let's try. Manufacturing is under power. That should do it. Store that. These all snap together. So we did the left turn, and now just to confirm, some little parkour. The only slider in the game that doesn't go faster if you hold the button down? Really? Screw it.
Self-diagnostic complete. I'm happy to report I
That baseball's still going. Okay.
We can keep traveling as much as you want. I don't require sleep or food in order to survive. My databanks are
Just take my
continuing to
bullets back.
accumulate vast amounts of data regarding the Commonwealth.
How we doing over here?
You lead the
Alright.
way, and I'll follow, man. All systems are go, man.
That should be the last one.
Self-diagnostic complete. I'm happy to report I won't be falling apart on you anytime soon.
So by opening the lunch boxes, we ended up with, it'll eventually be 2 baseballs once the other one makes it through. Free Nuka-Cola, 1 free steel. And the 4 regular lunch boxes, so they get auto repaired as soon as they come back in here, so you don't have to worry about that. You can still sell the lunch boxes for full price, but you have to do it this way in order to do it. So set up the conveyor belts in like a whack-a-mole fashion, grab a security baton or a pool cue, and just stand there and go nuts on it. You'll end up recouping everything that you spent on plastic, guaranteed, because there'll be a lot of plastic spoons, plastic knives. The tablespoons will be in there a bunch. Nuka-Cola, you can get Nuka-Cola Quantum, and you can get the little figurines. There's a huge list of randomly generated items, apparently, that come in the lunch boxes, and they're all in there. The only difference with the crafted ones, like I said, you have to hit them in order to open them. So once you get something like this up and running,
Never fear, man. I will ensure your safety to the
that
best of my ability.
is a huge ROI. Like, I don't know why people don't think that this is useful. I can't build crafting tables, so it's an excursion at this point with my super squishy mad scientist build, who can't take even but two bullets at this point, even at the level that I'm at. So I would have to go somewhere with crafting equipment in order to build any of this, and invest all the levels that I would need to in order to actually make stuff. You can make almost anything on these. All your basic ammunition. And then it tells you exactly what you need. Oops. For food processing stuff, snacks. Snacks galore. This seems to be the easiest for me because I can get plastic from the Vault-Tec lunchboxes, more than I need for this. And then I'm growing the corn and the razor grain, so it's easy. And same thing with the builder. Anything you want out of here. Vault-Tec lunchbox takes 3 steel, and the ROI on that is crazy. You can control the switches and the hopper speeds. Be careful with that. You can cause jams really easy. It's just like regular manufacturing equipment. If you have the space and you can set this up, it's not bad. You can just load this thing up and come back and check it later, and it will just build the stuff for you while you're doing basic maintenance elsewhere in the vault. But yeah, if you look it up, most of the threats, I'm telling you, they never recovered. Just the trauma of having to deal with all that. They also clog the doorways. And Ada does not stop talking at all. So, yeah. Here pretty soon, I think I'm gonna send her and Piper. And then as soon as I get the rest of the bots up and running, we're gonna get rid of them too. Start transferring out every human element that I possibly can. The vault also has the ability to become the largest water producing facility I can possibly imagine. Water farms are big business in the Commonwealth. Purified water sells for quite a bit, and you can generate a lot very quickly. Once you get this cleared out, there's a generator down here. It takes 20 power to get it up and running. You can either snake pylons all the way down once you get the East Sector workshop up and running, or like I did, just throw in 2 large generators. And that thing creates a massive amount of water. But there's also something else you can do. That will give you about 70 bottles of purified water every couple of days. Whatever the refresh rate on all of that is. I think it's the same as the scavenger thing, so whenever that thing just repopulates. But the vault power conduit, which is in connectors and switches about halfway down. Hook that to any wall that is legitimately attached. It has to be attached. The floor has to have contiguous space, and you can draw power from the main reactor anywhere in the vault, even outside of it. Slap one of those on, and these are powered water pumps. They don't have to be placed in water, they just get placed in the dirt. And they give 10 each. So in addition to that gigantic thing down there producing water, I'm gradually going to fill this entire area with a huge bank of water producing powered water pumps. And at that point, I will not want for anything. The vault will have basically given me everything that I need. Any equipment that I will need at that point, I'll be able to buy in full shipments instead of buying junk components.
Yes.
And
Exercise sucks.
at that point, I think with the power armor and all of the equipment that I can get my hands on, I think we're ready to start the game. So yeah, Mad Scientist is very difficult. This is not an easy build. It's not something that I would recommend for the faint of heart. But if you're going to do it, this is a great way to start. You don't really need a whole lot in the way of extra points in charisma. I do definitely recommend, and I'm going to be doing this next, dropping a couple of points in so that you can get the Lone Wanderer perk. Couple of levels in that. So all in, that's 2 levels in charisma and then 2 levels in the Lone Wanderer will make me a lot tougher, and I'll be able to carry a lot more. My carry capacity is still really low. It's like 140. My strength is still next to nothing, but with the workhorse of Sentinel power armor, and I gave him a minigun, I think I can get by if I were a bit more resistant with just him getting around and doing what I have to do. So yeah, Sentinel power armor and a couple points in charisma will make this a lot easier on everything. But yeah, I am, with all of that taken care of, level 22. This would be an absolute game changer for this build. It would be worth the investment. I haven't done anything outside of the standard for the the mad scientist, so that would be the first like core stat investment that I would really consider, but it seems like, especially like at least the second level. So it'd be 2 points in charisma, 2 points in lone wanderer. That would help quite a bit with my basic adventuring. But yeah, now that we're up and running, we will have a small fortune within a short period of time. If I do take a companion, they have some busted power armor. I have a power armor set myself and sentinel power armor, so I can roll 3 suits deep, work my way across the Commonwealth, and hopefully meet Preston for the first time at level 22. Probably be level 23, 24 by the time I actually get there. So yeah. Viable? I don't know. Doable? Yes. Again, I don't know. Mad Scientist is not an easy one, but this has, for real, been the most fun that I've had. On any Fallout playthrough. My biggest gripe with most of them is that, like, you can beeline through all of it. And for new players, I get it. It's fun to be able to have that near constant sense of progression, but, like, once you've gone through it a couple of times, it's hard for me to pick a build on a regular difficulty where I can't at least get to the fight with Kellogg by level 15. And here I am, level 20, level 22, gonna be level 24, 25, and still absolutely terrified of that first encounter with a Deathclaw. Like, this, I think, is how you're supposed to play the game. But yeah, it's tedious, it's difficult. The vast majority of my time is spent cuddling here with Jangles the Moon Monkey and making runs up to the Atom Cats. They have got to be sick of me at this point. They've been asking me to go and talk to somebody and do some quests and buy some power armor, and it doesn't matter. Every time I show up, I just show up with like 200 purified water and just buy out all of his junk. Come back here, modify the vault, dink around for a day, harvest my crops, dink around for another day, grab more water, make the run again, over and over and over again until this works. And I'm almost to a point where I can set up everything that I need, so I have the resources, the carry capacity, and the ability to survive, so I can make it back from Quincy all the way up to Concord, following the exact path from the Quincy Massacre, to go meet Preston. And I think I'm going to send this whole group back up to Starlight and make the long walk with them one more time. So I'll throw Piper in some power armor. You know, survival has an interesting quirk, where if you never told a companion where to go, they'll go back to their default location if they get downed and you don't rescue them. So this is kind of mean, but when I make the long walk, I think I'm going to take everything away from Piper. And if she gets downed, she should go back to public occurrences. Which would be, if that happens, that would be the only way, realistically, in the game to send Piper back to public occurrences. Instead of one of your settlements after you grab her as a companion. So I'm not going to actively try to get Piper shot. That just feels mean. But if Piper goes down, I'm not gonna save her next time, and I'm gonna see what happens. I'm gonna see where she goes, because that would be neat if Piper just went back to go be with her sister, and I could not have to worry about her as a companion anymore, because I have Blabbermouth Ada, who will not stop talking about stuff, or any number of automatrons that I can make, plus Sentinel power armor. So me traveling with a human companion doesn't really make any sense at this point. Also, thinking it through, there's a suit of power armor that's scripted that I have to get. So if I'm rolling in power armor to get there, that means I'd have to leave one of my suits if I let Piper take it. So I could take one, go do the mission, well, get there, basically, hop out, grab the fusion core, go in, meet Preston and the crew, grab that power armor, hop down, run into the hardware store, deal with the Deathclaw, and then take off and follow them up to Sanctuary. From that point, I should be able to grab Preston as a companion, go back to Lexington, get in my better power armor, give Preston the other one, and then make the trip all the way back down to the vault, make Preston get out of the power armor, and leave it there, and then I'll have 3 sets of power armor down here. So that's the plan. We'll be doing that next time. Until then, just have some faith in the Creation Club stuff. It's not as bad as everybody makes it out to be. I don't know why every thread about it is so negative, but the manufacturing stuff, it's quirky. It takes a minute. And it's expensive to build. But if you can't make crafting tables, it's useful. Like, really, really useful. There's one of the benches that can make energy weapons, so I'm looking forward to being able to try that one out. I just can't build it yet. I need, I think, more in the science perk, but we'll get there. Alright, well, until next time.